Okay, let's move.
A little too quiet.
How's it going, everyone? It's the Mercenary. Hope you guys had an awesome weekend, and welcome to today's video, which is going to be an update slash ramble on video featuring some Sniper Ghost Warrior 2 gameplay from the PC. In today's video, I want to take today to discuss recent changes that are going to be happening today, as well as in the future. So first things first, I managed to get myself a SteelSeries RGB backlit keyboard, Apex 150, as well as a new optical gaming mouse named the Logitech Daedalus Prime optical gaming mouse, which features a maximum 5000 DPI, which can be toggled by the top middle button on the top of the mouse, which can be adjusted in a variety of ways. And on top of that, I managed to buy a Elgato HD60S. Now, due to some significant hardware requirements that my computer is not quite fully up to the task with, to enable that low latency to zero latency that Elgato features, it was unfortunately too powerful for my PC, which didn't feature a USB 3.0 like I thought it did. I think it was due to the transition from Windows 8.1 to Windows 10, and my BIOS kind of got outdated, so I thought I had USB 3.0, which I guess I don't. But either way, the system requirements for the CPU is a Intel Core i5, 4 cores or more, and it utilizes both the CPU and the GPU at the same time for the ultra low latency. And because I couldn't output the requirements as requested, I had to end up taking the device back. But I didn't quite see this as a down point to not being able to buy the best quality capture card out there on the market. Because I don't really record many videos to the Xbox One, I wasn't really at loss for anything. Like, I still run the HD PVR2 for the Xbox 360 and PS3 and all their console like retro games and stuff. And then there's my AverMedia Capture HD, which outputs a maximum of 1080p 30 frames per second, and the lowest being 1280 by 720 at 720 60 frames per second. So to return money on the Elgato HD60S, I decided to invest in a motherboard which would support the AM3 Plus socket, which would also support the AMD FX 8350A core processor. In turn, that would actually better support encoding when doing streaming at high resolutions, which I'm always trying to strive for the best quality possible when streaming, as well as video editing and rendering, and Photoshop and benchmarking with Cinebench and other related programs that test the CPU's power as well as the GPU. Now, of course, my biggest thing when it comes to doing all this is comparing how much better the CPU would actually perform on top of my AMD 810 quad-core APU, which kind of has a few crippling points that I'm pretty sure this processor will make up for. But that's all in the part of what I've got a third spare channel for, which is video quality testing. And this is where I dump a bunch of old experimental videos into that I wouldn't otherwise waste on my gaming channel. Now, this channel, I'm not too sure where it's going to go, but I feel like I use it for comparison tests and stuff. I feel this is the best channel to do that with, and I feel that the more I use it, the more it's got a promising future ahead of it. Now, to go in more detail with what I mean about comparison, I'd like to actually take games that are very graphically demanding, and that could be Fallout 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, and some top tier games which go the extra mile when it comes to graphical settings. And I know I have a few games that have a few hidden tweak settings that allow you to, or allow the user to stress test the hell out of their computer, and I feel that with the few games I've got, I'm going to be able to do just that with this CPU, and I'm hoping that it'll be able to take whatever I can throw at it. Another program that really stress tests my CPU usage is Discord, and when I'm video conferencing with a friend and they're sharing video on their end too, I notice that my CPU usage skyrockets from a massive 20% to a 50 to 67%, which is almost equivalent to my editing program actually rendering a video, although the response to my computer rendering a video to doing something else is actually more greater in response than it is on Discord. For example, I tend to activate the Streamlabs chatbot, and with undergoing tasks that are very heavy on demand, it usually takes the chatbot usually 5 to 10 minutes, even longer, to load until I turn off the video conferencing, and that's when it loads. So that's kind of like another point that I'm eager to find out whether this process on this Discord actually is better on the CPU, and only one way to find out is to do it when I get it. Now, being that my rig is very personal, I've seen a lot of test benches out there that compare an Intel Core i5, i3, and an i7 compared to an AMD FX and similar AMD CPUs. And for me, I've never owned an Intel Core i7 or any Intel chip for that matter, apart from a Pentium, which was a part of a very old Dell desktop that is no longer with me anymore. But I've always been with AMD, and I've been curious of how AMD compares with a better end chip of AMD. So for me, it's going to be my AMD APU quad-core versus the AMD FX 8350. So if you guys are curious to find out what each system is going to be like when I put them all together, you can find them on my video quality testing channel, which if you guys are more interested in what I've got on there, I'll link it in the description below for your guys' convenience. And you guys can kind of go over there and see what it is that I do over there and find out if there's anything that what I do is different apart from everyone else you've seen. Now, to clarify one thing, the game that I'm playing and recording this on is my current AMD A10 APU processor, so it's actually quite astonishing how well everything works. But it's also the magic of Shadowplay that really astonishes me. Now, the games I'm looking forward to most testing out is Mirror's Edge Catalyst, which happens to be a very demanding game for graphics, which will stress test every part of a CPU and GPU as possible, and as well as Rise of the Tomb Raider, Fallout 4, and many other of them demanding games which I have yet to test. But you'll know more of that on my spare channel when I eventually get down to benchmarking it. But apart from this, I am very excited to see what direction this CPU will take me in and what more I can do with it than my current system. But I'm also not going to just leave my system on the side. Once I actually find a suitable case, which has to be a square case, if it's too vertical or something like that, it's not going to be a suitable casing for my motherboard. But I am going to make this current build that I've got right now into a different rig on its own, which may actually be for streaming or for video editing. But then again, I'm underestimating what an AMD FX processor may be able to do with all this, and I might be worrying over nothing. But either way, it's always nice to kind of have a backup rig to do things that you otherwise wouldn't want your current CPU to actually be overloaded with. So therefore, I'm very excited for the future and what it beholds. I'm very excited to find out how well it'll actually handle streaming and gaming at the same time on the same CPU. But that's going to be my experiment to find out, and I will let you guys know on Twitter, if you guys follow me on there, of how everything goes. Now, of course, my biggest con is that I come to conclusions too quick. Like, I get excited, and that's a part of the problem too, is I get excited, and when things don't end up working out the way I think it does, then it comes back and bites me in the butt pretty hard. So I hope that this is not going to make me look bad in any kind of way. So maybe I should just save whatever hype that I've got for this thing until I've actually tested it and make sure everything works the way I had hoped it would work. But with all that said, I feel like I've gotten what I felt was needed off my shoulders. I know there's probably tons on my mind that I can't quite think of right now before doing this post commentary. But I feel like I've gotten everything off my shoulders that I need to get off for right now. So I hope you guys did enjoy my ramble video. I hope it wasn't going on too much on the same topic, because I have a tendency of doing that. But either way, if you guys did enjoy, feel free to drop a like or dislike, whichever you feel today's video deserved. Feel free to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. And I hope to hear from you guys in the comment section below of what you think of this. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in my next video. My recent videos will be popping up before you. And I hope you guys have a great day. And I'll catch you next time. Peace out.
Okay, enough with the chit chat. Let's take them same time.